What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, the Fantasy Football Almanac, back at it with a best ball draft video. I am hyped up today. We're having in a best ball draft, Best Ball Mania 3. There are 385,000 current entrants out of 451,000. The NFL season is a week away. Everyone's fantasy drafts probably coming up soon. Wish you the best of luck in those. But before we get into the video, please go down, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Really would mean the world to me. I am going to be making tons and tons of content throughout the season, helping you on, sell high candidates, buy low candidates, weekly start sits, everything like that. So please subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy. We're launching in with the 12th pick right now. I really like at the 12th pick getting Joe Mixon and Saquon Barkley. It just feels so good. You just feel so nice. Not sure if we'll get it here, though. El Magico 88, maybe taking Saquon here. Saquon, a guy going higher and higher up these drafts. It looks like by the end of this, he might actually pass Joe Mixon. That's how high Saquon Barkley is coming off these draft boards now. But I really like getting the combo of Joe Mixon and Saquon Barkley. I'm fine getting Najee and Joe Mixon as well, but I just prefer Joe Mixon and Saquon. We'll see what El Magico does, though. He's taking his sweet time. He goes Travis Kelce. We're taking Joe Mixon. We're taking Saquon Barkley. Two players I really like this season, and I have above ADP at the running back, and that's really what matters to me. Both of these guys are fantastic running backs in offenses where they're going to be workhorses, say. So, I mean, what more can you ask for than that? Especially Saquon Barkley, 14th best fantasy finish of all time. I mean, this guy's an absolutely dominant running back. And Joe Mixon finishes the RB3 last season. Was really good. And the offensive line just got a ton better. Joe Mixon getting another year with Joe Burrow, with Jamar Chase, with T. Higgins. I want as many pieces of the Cincinnati offense as I can possibly get. They just look to be so freaking good this year. And although they might have some low games because they just have so many people, there might be some low floor games. Overall, I think over the course of a season, they're going to be absolutely dominant. So that's what we do. We stack up Joe Mixon, we stack up Saquon Barkley, and we move on. We got a pretty huge running back run coming off the board from Joe Mixon, actually, to Alvin Kamara. I always do like starting these running back runs. I think it is the best thing to do. Start these runs, get your players, and kind of let the rest of the value fall as it may. I do really like the 12th pick here because at 36 and 37, I mean, there's potential we get Josh Allen. Not so much anymore, but there was potential we'd get Kyle Pitts. Now Kyle Pitts is soaring up the boards. I mean, he's going at like pick 25, 26 often I see now. So he's soaring up boards. I mean, he's actually passing Mark Andrews in a lot of drafts. That's personally where I draw the line. I can't take him over Mark Andrews, but I can definitely see the case why you would. What I want, though, what I would ultimately want is at 36 and 37, if I could double up and get Josh Allen and Kyle Pitts, get two one-off positions completely out of the way, and then we just hammer wide receiver. Like at 60 and 61, you can end up with a Darnell Mooney, which is fine. You can end up with a Chris Godwin potentially, which is fine. You can end up with an Allen Lazard. I might actually reach an Allen Lazard here. It's a guy I don't reach on very often and would create a really unique team combination because there's pretty much no way Lazard makes it to 84. Here we got Kyle Pitts finally off the board yet again. Like I said, going ahead of Mark Andrews now in a lot of drafts. I mean, ADP hasn't fully caught up yet, but it's happening. I mean, Kyle Pitts. And the reason why is sound. I mean, Kyle Pitts is the type of player that can win you your fantasy league if he pops off. I mean, he's a guy who can catch a 60-yard touchdown bomb. There really isn't too many other tight ends that could do that. Travis Kelce can. I mean, he's an absolute monster. Mark Andrews can, and that's about it. It's those three guys. I mean, nobody else you really can expect to do that. And Kyle Pitts is ridiculously talented. I saw a stat that in terms of yards per route run, which is a very advanced efficiency metric that PFF puts out of all wide receivers lining up outside, Kyle Pitts actually had the highest amount of yards per route run. Second place was Cooper Kupp. Third place was Devontae Adams. So it's like a very useful list to tell wide receiver efficiency and how good a wide receiver is. And Kyle Pitts, as a 21-year-old rookie, topped that entire list with a washed version of Matt Ryan at quarterback. I don't think Matt Ryan's completely washed, but I mean, he certainly did not look that good. If Kyle Pitts had more than one touchdown last season, I mean, he would easily be going in the second round. There's no doubt in my mind, consistently in the second round. So I really like him. But we still do have Mark Andrews on the board. Really pretty surprising here. It is picked, 27 now? Probably should come off the board here. I mean, this guy has comp hits already, so he's like, there's no way I'm taking Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews does come off the board. A guy I would be fine taking at 22, but it does fall to 27 here. We'll see who makes it back to us. I mean, T. Higgins would be absolutely fine. Courtland Sutton would be absolutely fine. James Conner or Travis Etienne would be fine, but we already do have two really, really solid running backs. I do like the pairing. If you get Joe Mixon, James Conner, and Saquon Barkley, it just feels really, really good. But we'll see if it happens here. I mean, the nice thing about it is that we do get two picks in a row. The pick I would love the most, though, is if Josh Allen could make it to us. Just starting off with that, just an automatic quarterback one, just having like an insane QB. So you know you don't need to draft again, draft another really good QB again, because the next quarterback that falls in line with ADP here is Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts is a fine, I mean, he's actually an awesome quarterback. But, I mean, if you could take, let's say, Darnell Mooney and Allen Lazard there, I mean, that's just better. Josh Allen does come off the board, though. I'm hoping for Sutton. I'm not as big on Keenan. Is Mike Williams above Keenan now? That's how I have it ranked out, but I kind of want to see. No, they're literally like exactly the same. 31.2 and 31.3. So I think Mike Williams will surpass. We do have Sutton coming off the board here. I might go James Conner and Gabe Davis here. I do really like Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis is legit, and I'm buying in more and more to Gabe Davis each and every time I think about him. I'm buying in because he has those explosive boom weeks. We'll see what El Magico does, though. Guy likes to take his free time. We'll see if he goes James Conner. He does. I want to go Gabe Davis. But do I go Jalen Waddle? Or do I go Allen Robinson? We're going to take a risk here. We're going to go Allen Robinson. And we're going to go Gabe Davis here. I'm fine with that because, I mean, they both have the same buy. It doesn't really matter, actually. I'm fine with taking a lot of risk at wide receiver because we do have such stable running backs. And I think Allen Robinson and Gabe Davis provide like ample amounts of risk. I think they're going to be really, really good guys. I mean, Gabe Davis is a guy I've probably grown on the most out of anybody this offseason, I think, realistically. I love Gabe Davis this season. I mean, he's coming in as wide receiver to Josh Allen. It's already a good start to a sentence. And then he also looked really good last year. The Bills put their trust into him. They said, okay, it's Gabe Davis season. We're going to get rid of our wide receiver 2. We're going to get rid of our wide receiver 3. Gabe Davis time. It is Gabe Davis time. So I'm bought into Gabe Davis. And Gabe Davis, touchdown machine. More touchdowns than anyone in that 2020 draft class except for Justin Jefferson. And it's Justin Jefferson. I mean, come on. He's got more than CeeDee Lamb, got more than a ton of other wide receivers in that class. I mean, I can blame him. Jerry Jeudy, obviously, also a part of that draft class. Juju Smith-Schuster coming off the board a bit early here. I think my plan right now, I kind of want to double up and get Lazard. And Mooney, to be 100% honest with you. Even though usually here I am drafting Jalen Hurts. I don't know. I'm a little bit torn. Let me know what you guys would do here down below in the comments, because I know it is a little bit of a tough decision here. Either way, I mean, we'll see who gets to us. I mean, Darnell Mooney might not even be on the board. Deontay Johnson's still on the board. A guy I think has been falling a bit too much. Sure, he doesn't have the ceiling that some of these other wide receivers have, but his floor is so safe, and I know we're going for ceiling here. In a draft like this, we are going for ceiling, but at the same time, 1,100 yards is still, like, really, really good. 170 targets. And also, Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett does look to be at least as good, if not better, than the corpse of Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, I think around the same at least. So I think people are kind of sleeping on Deontay Johnson because the breakout has already happened. And people are like, the breakout has already happened. He's not going to get any better than what we've seen from him last season. But what we saw from him last season was a wide receiver 8 finish. And he's coming off the board as the wide receiver 24 right now. I mean, yes, there is a little bit more target competition this season. You do have George Pickens coming into the offense here. Chase Claypool still should operate as a decent wide receiver, still some volume. But 169 targets and 144 targets does not just go away. They just signed him to 2 years, $20 million a year. I think it was 2 years, $37 million, something like that. But either way, that just does not go away. I think Deontay Johnson's starting to become a massive value here. And if he falls to me somehow, I mean, I'll gladly take him. Here, I mean, George Kittle's also on the board. We are 8 picks away, so I imagine the odds he makes it back to us are almost 0. But I have seen George Kittle come down these boards just a bit. AJ Dillon, a guy I like a lot, but I am starting to temper my expectations on him just a bit. I think he's going a little bit too high now. I mean, pick 52 is just going too high, in my personal opinion. But we'll see, though, if Deontay comes off the board, it can make it back to us. Just a lot of people, like Rashad Bateman, like Darren Waller, Michael Thomas. I mean, because if we could pair up Deontay Johnson, that's a really, really unique team combination. That's a team combination not a lot of people are going to be having, which is really nice. I mean, I will gladly take that. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think the odds of Deontay Johnson make it to us are practically zero. It's because he got 4 wide receivers, and they're all insane. He was probably looking to go A.J. Dillon here. That's my guess, personally. He goes Joe Burrow. Wow, I don't like that pick at all. I don't like that pick at all. That's a huge reach. That's like 20 picks ADP. Oh, my God. That's a huge reach. Deontay Johnson's still on the board, though. I mean, if we could get Deontay Johnson and George Kittle, Deontay Johnson and George Kittle will be mine. Don't think it's going to happen, though. Yet again, I'll iterate it 1,000 times. Get Deontay off the board. Kittle off the board. Makes sense. I mean, you can't fault these guys for taking the best pick available. Here, I might just make this like a my guys draft, to be honest, just for fun. Joe Mixon and Saquon, already guys I really, really like this season. Darnell Mooney, a guy I like a lot, but Rashad Bateman's still on the board as well. I mean, I think he's a fine play here, but I wouldn't take him personally at this pick. I've become lower on Rashad Bateman over the course of this offseason. I know he's walking into a ton of targets, but at the same time, the Ravens to me just don't feel like a team that are going to be, look, not that they're not going to be that good. I feel like they're not going to pass it to Rashad Bateman as much as I'm expecting here. He looked really inefficient that season. I'm just a little nervous for Rashad Bateman. I think he'll be a fine wide receiver, but I don't think he'll be able to return value where he's going. I'd prefer Darnell Mooney over him straight up. I might honestly go Jalen Hurts and Lazard here, though. I think that's what I'm going to do. As long as Jalen Hurts isn't snatched, which he might be. Kyler Murray. Okay, so we're going to take Jalen Hurts here. And we're going to take Lazard. I'm totally fine with that. We get a really, really good quarterback here, a guy I really, really like. And then our wide receiver room is insanely risky, which I like as well. I mean, this team is really, really freaking good. I love this team. This team's upside is ridiculous. It's some of the highest upside in the entire league. I know we took him over Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney probably should have been the pick here, realistically, but what can you do? Darnell Mooney, a guy I'm lower on now than I was to start the season. I think he's going about where he should be. Honestly, no, he should be going a little bit higher, I think. I think I have him as my wide receiver 26, something like that. I think he should be going a bit higher here. We got Michael Thomas at 62 right now. Yeah, so in the next round, oh my, Damian Pierce. That's just crazy to me. I think Damian Pierce, the hype is getting out of hand here. The hype is 100% getting out of hand. I mean, it's actually a little scary how much hype he's getting. Yes, I think he's going to be in a good role here. But, I mean, I can't realistically see taking him over a guy like Chase Edmonds. Josh Jacobs, I understand. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I would rather have Clyde. I would rather have Ramondre Stevenson. That's about where I draw the line. I would say I would rather have Kareem Hunt as well. I would say after Kareem Hunt is about where I think he deserves to be. Because, I mean, at the same time, he's the starting running back for the Houston Texans. I haven't seen this many people excited. I think the hype is absolutely out of control. I think he'll go probably pretty soon. I think he'll go in the next, 5 picks, honestly. He goes off the board right now. Because the thing is, with Damian Pierce, everybody wants him so badly, so people are willing to reach so far up this draft board to get him. They're like, okay, I know he's not going to make it back to me at this next pick, at pick 78. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Damian Pierce at pick 67. And then somebody says that at pick 66, they're like, I'm not going to get Damian Pierce at pick 79. Let me take him at 66. Let me take him at 65. And you push this guy up the board, who, yes, he does have a pretty huge workload, and I think in sleeper leagues, in sleeper or just regular fantasy football leagues, he is a huge, huge value. I mean, he's going in the 125 right now on sleeper. That's just ridiculous. I would take him probably like 90-ish, something like that. But at in right here, I mean, I just think he's going way too high. I can't justify it. I think in the 90s he is a value. At round 8, he's a value. Round 9, he's definitely a value, but round 6, I just can't see it when you get guys that you already know are going to have a huge workload and are not on the Houston Texans. So it's the Houston Texans at the end of the day. And it's not like he's probably going to have a huge passing down role. I mean, you have I don't even want to bother pronouncing his last name, and Rex Burkhead, both guys who do have passing down presence. So yes, well, he will be getting utilized in the rushing game. I'm not sure how much he's going to be used in the receiving game, and that does scare me a little bit. Clyde Whittler off the board. We are 9 picks away here. One guy on my up only is Chase Edmonds here. I would absolutely love Chase Edmonds at this pick. Don't know if it's going to happen here. He might get reached on. But again, this is a My Guys draft, so he will make it back to us. He has to. He's a My Guy. But if you guys are enjoying this video, please go down, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. You can always change your mind later on the subscription, but it would really mean the world to me. I do want to help you guys absolutely destroy your league mates and everything like that. So please, if you guys do enjoy, consider subscribing, consider giving a like. And actually as well, leave a comment, any comment you guys have. I'm more than willing to answer any questions that you guys have on fantasy football. I know your drafts are probably coming up soon. Go over any teams you guys have built. If you guys, have some interesting team combinations, please let me know down below in the comments. I would really love to hear them responding to any comment yet again. So, Chase Edmonds, unfortunately, off the board here. We're probably going to go wide receiver again then, because we do have some really, really good running backs. I mean, we're just like chilling it back. Elijah Moore still on the board? Wow. I don't think he'll make back to us even though he's just 5 picks away. Dalton Schultz still on the board? That could be a really interesting pick. I definitely like the value on that. Amari Cooper. Yeah, he's a guy that's falling. I understand why. Okay, so Elijah Moore and Dalton Schultz will come off the board. I might just double up at wide receiver again. Just take, again, really, really high talent players. Here. Because let me think, who would make it back to us? James Cook would probably make it back to us in my next pick. Actually, maybe not. Because we would probably want a third running back there. Darrell Henderson could be an interesting pick there, I think. Yeah, I mean, I think I feel comfortable at least getting 2 backups here, potentially. We could reach in a Kareem Hunt, but I kind of like the upside of Kadarius Toney and Amari Cooper here. Personally, because I think Amari Cooper in redraft leagues is totally dead. I mean, if you're taking him, I'm talking about like sleeper leagues, like your casual home leagues. But in a format like this, I don't think Amari Cooper's dead. Once Deshaun Watson comes back, if he balls, I mean, then yeah, he'll be insane. So we are pretty bought into the Giants as well. So we may be taking Daniel Jones as a QB2 here. We probably will actually be taking Daniel Jones as a QB2. Let's see, what pick we have to take him at? We'd have to take him at 157, because at 180 he won't be there most likely. Actually, we could see the trends of how quarterbacks are falling. Right here, Tom Brady going at a tiny bit of a value. Not really though. No, he's not going at a value at all. So we'd have to reach a little bit on Daniel Jones to get the stack here, but it's fine. Again, this is a My Guys team. We are building My Guys here. Amari Cooper and Kadarius Toney not as much My Guys, but I do really like the talent on them. I mean, the upside is absolutely insane. If all these guys hit their ceilings, this team is going to be ridiculous. If all of them don't, then we are kind of boned. But, I mean, I'm fine going Hawkinson. I'm fine going Goddard in the next round. We do need tight ends here. We do need tight ends pretty bad. We could probably get reach on a Cole Komet here, maybe. Because I don't think Cole Komet's going to make it back to us at 132. So we'll figure it out at tight end. I mean, we'll see if, Goddard or Hawkinson make it back as well. I don't think they will, but it is possible. Tua Tagovailoa here. This guy. Okay, so he's got Tyreek. This guy loves some strange quarterbacks. I mean, even if you got a premonition from the future, premonition, whatever it is, even if you have someone coming down from the future and saying Joe Burrow will be an insane QB this year, which he probably will be. Maybe not for fantasy, but he probably will be. But if he is an insane quarterback for fantasy purposes, I don't understand reaching 20 picks on ADP for him. When you can most likely get him at 67. I just don't understand. Me personally, just because of the way ADP works, like you're gonna have people with Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I'm sure one of the most popular stacks in fantasy football this season. I'm sure at this point. But you're gonna have people doing that at pick 78. So that means the two players in between, like he could have gone Deontay Johnson here, and then he could have gotten David Montgomery in the next round, and then potentially gone Joe Burrow. It's not going to work every draft, obviously, because Joe Burrow will be off the board in some of these drafts. But in other drafts, I mean, you're gonna in 451,000 people, you are going to have people who have that happen to them, and you're just gonna lose to them straight up because they have better value than you. That's my thought process on reaching too much. I do think in this case it was okay to reach because one, I really like Alan Lazard, and two, there's just no potential way I can get him with my next pick. So it would have still created a unique team combination. There's just no absolute possible way I get him with my next pick. So that's why I reached on him there, but I do understand. I also think reaching more than 10 picks is just dumb, unless you're in like the last few rounds, then it really doesn't matter. We got Stafford, Kareem Hunt off the board. We are 7 picks away. TJ Hawkinson also off the board. Dawson Knox. It is a little unfortunate. We probably, I mean, if Gibson's still on the board here, like, because, I mean, at this point, did he just come off the board? He did. At this point, I think Antonio Gibson, I mean, if he's going to pick 100, he's got to be a value just because to start the season, Brian Robinson, again, prayers for Brian Robinson, but Brian Robinson will not be starting the season just because it's a fantasy football related channel. I do have to talk about the fantasy implications of it. But he will not be ready to start the season. He might not play at all this season. And if that's the case, I mean, Antonio Gibson was an RB10 the last 2 seasons. I think that's definitely a value here. Something you should jump on pretty quick. I really do hope James Cook falls to us here. Yes, he does. I know it is a risky pick here. Okay, so now we're in an interesting position. Do we take Comet or do we take Rondale Moore? I say we need a tight end here, so I'm gonna take Comet personally here. But I think if my wide receiver core was worse, I probably would have taken Rondale Moore here just because of ADP and everything like that. And I definitely prefer Comet to Zach Ertz. One, I mean, Zach Ertz again with the injury. Not sure if he will be playing week 1, and he really only has the first 6 weeks of the season to play really all that well and impress before DeAndre Hopkins come back. And I mean, he's going to be lost in the depth chart at that point. They also pick up Trey McBride. I think that does not bode well for Zach Ertz at all. Zach Ertz, a 30-year-old now. I'm a little bit concerned with Zach Ertz here. But I do really, really like this team a lot overall. I think it's just a good roster, and there's really nothing wrong with just having a good, solid roster here. Our only weakness again is tight end. That's about it. We can figure out tight end. We'll win this draft easily. So maybe we go Njoku in the next round, something like that. I think a high upside tight end. Hayden Hurst could be interesting. I think we will go 3 tight ends here because realistically we only need 4 running backs. We only need 2 quarterbacks. Our wide receivers are good enough to where we only need 8 or 9 receivers. So I think we will go 3 tight ends here because we need it, to be honest with you. We 100% need 3 tight ends. Just because our team is not looking all that good at tight end. Our team is actually awful at tight end. But every other position, really, really strong. I mean, you might not think these are wide receivers that are really all that strong, but I do. I really, really like all these guys. Michael Gallup's on the board as well. Probably not going to make it back to us, though. What pick are we? We are pick 132 and 133 here. Okay, so most likely will not be making it back to us. But let me know down below in the comments. I know all fantasy drafts are going on right now, very soon. Write out your teams in the comments. I would love to hear them. Let me know, the league size, like is it 12-man, is it super flex, all that jazz. Please let me know down below in the comments. It would be really interesting. I'd love to give you some advice on your fantasy team. And if you guys have any questions about start sits for week 1, also let me know down below in the comments. It is exciting. Fantasy football really starting up in a week. I mean, that's just crazy to me. Time has flown by this offseason. Feels like just yesterday, preseason week 1 was afoot. And now we're here. So it is pretty awesome. But please, again, let me know down below in the comments. Any questions you guys have. Romeo Dobbs on the board. I don't think that'll be for long. Aaron Rodgers still on the board too. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers makes it back to us, I think that's a worthy value at this point. But if I could pair up Romeo Doubs and Aaron Rodgers, we also do have Alan Lazard, so I think it is very, very worth it to take Aaron Rodgers if he falls. I don't think he will though. Odds are slim to none. Yep. I wonder if this guy will do the same strategy that I was just mentioning. Pair up Romeo Doubs and Aaron Rodgers. We'll see here though. I think it's probably a smart strategy. Now, I mean, you're getting Aaron Rodgers at a value, so it's fine. Holy, his running backs are mad good. He doesn't elect to do that here. I like this guy's team. He just needs a little bit more depth at wide receiver here. Dallas Goedert's fine though. Yeah, I like this team overall. I think his wide receiver depth could be a bit better, but when you have Jonathan Taylor, it's so easy to just build such a good running back core. It's actually so easy. Because it's like you just have that headliner, like you know you're locked in for mad points. That's how I feel about Joe Mixon and Saquon Barkley too. So yeah, I really like having the 12th pick. I mean, it's probably outside having a top 5 pick. It's probably my favorite to have is the 12th. Because oh my God, Raheem Mostert? Are you kidding me? Oh man. I mean, Raheem Mostert definitely the RB2 in this offense. So I think it is fair. I think he is kind of being a little underdrafted, but at the same time, one of the few players in the league I do legitimately consider injury prone here. I mean, how is he not injury prone? This guy has played one full season in his NFL career, just had neck surgery this offseason that could have ended his entire career. So I am worried about Madison, but the upside is definitely there. I will agree, especially if Chase Edmonds goes down. I think it is fair. The upside for Gaskin as well is there now that Sonny Michel is out. Kenneth Walker, Romeo Doubs still on the board. I'm shocked he's falling. I'm actually really, really surprised. I don't think I'll make it back to us. I mean, I'm good taking McKenzie though. We do have Gabe Davis here, but let's say Diggs goes down. I mean, this team becomes insane. I could go Fields here too. I would have preferred Fields had I taken Darnell Mooney, but I didn't take Darnell Mooney, so probably not. I knew he was going Romeo Doubs here. This guy's very experienced. He saw value. We are in a position now where, I mean, Freiermuth is probably the pick here. A guy who will have a fair amount of touchdowns this season. And then I think Fields is fine here. We flesh out our second QB spot. A guy with a ton of upside through his rushing work here. Now I'm torn. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys would do here. Kenny Gainwell could also be an interesting pick. I'm like really torn. There was a lot of guys I liked, and they were all snatched. I'm going to wait the full time here to take Freiermuth. Actually, let's just scoop him now. All right, we got 30 seconds. I'm torn between Fields, Jacoby Myers, Jalen Tolbert, Russell Gage. I think we're going to go Tolbert here. No, we're going to go Justin Fields here. We got Cole Comet. Justin Fields, Cole Komet, fine pairing. I don't feel 100% confident in it, but we did get him at a slight value. I think it's a fine pick. I don't think it's a bad pick whatsoever. I don't know. I don't know why I feel shaky on it as I do. I think I should feel a little bit better about it considering we do have Cole Komet. You know what? Yeah, I think it was a good pick. I think it was the right pick. Better than panic picking Jalen Tolbert here. I think that's 100% true. It was definitely better than panic picking Jalen Tolbert. Now I'm imagining running backs galore come off. With the next 20 picks, we do need one more running back here, so we'll figure it out. But I don't know who we'll take. We'll probably end up taking. I kind of honestly like taking Benjamin in the last round. I think that's fine because he could be the RB2 in this offense. And if that's the case, if James Conner goes down, which he's done every single season of his career, Benjamin would probably become a pretty high end to middle RB2. Like all these other guys who are in committee back situations, I mean, if the lead back goes down, they all ascend, so why not take the cheapest one? Unless you're getting like a Madison, like a very premier guy. Madison, I have heard a lot of teams are vying for. Apparently, over a third of all teams reached out to offer the Vikings a trade. He could go if a third round pick is offered here, so we'll see. I mean, it would be really, really nice if Madison were to be traded. probably for Dynasty Madison owners, I think his value would most likely only rise. Because I mean, I imagine he would at least go into a committee system and maybe have some standalone value, whereas right now he really doesn't. But even if not, even if he is just a pure backup, I mean, if the league guy goes down, I imagine his value is kind of net neutral. But then also, I mean, if he does officially get traded, uh, we're looking at totally different backups for Dalvin Cook here. I mean, I feel like the 10 in the last 3 years has been okay, you got Dalvin Cook, pick up Madison, so that way you have that insurance policy. But now, I mean, Ty Chandler's getting some hype. Kene, I don't even know how to say his last name, is getting some hype. So I think it is possible, maybe you try and diversify your portfolio a little bit and try and take one of these Ty Chandler type running backs because I mean there is now a path for him to be the RB3. And dang, I would have went Jalen Tolbert, or I almost went Jalen Tolbert a whole round earlier here. It's crazy he did fall this far. It's a good pick. KJ Osborne's still on the board. A guy like KJ Hamler. We got the KJs on the board still. Wandale Robinson. Brian Robinson. I'm surprised. I just saw his ADP at like the 170s. I'm surprised he's going back up here. Christian Watson, another guy I think is fine. He probably will be starting with the backups this season. But again, if he earns a starting role in any way, it's the Green Bay offense. I'm fine taking a risk on that. We'll see, though. I mean, if KJ Osborne's still on the board and KJ Hamler's still on the board, I'll take them. And now I guess it was probably pretty good that we didn't take Daniel Jones here because there's lots of wide receivers, or 3 wide receivers we like here. So, oh man, actually, I'm not gonna take Darius here because I'm not gonna take Wandale here because I think we'd have too many Giants. Probably, and I don't think AJ Hamler's gonna make it back to us. I don't think he makes it 6 picks or like 4 picks behind ADP here. We'll see though. I mean, there still is a lot of junk on the board here. I always look at all this stuff as like clutter because I'm most likely not going to be taking any of these tight ends. Maybe I should. Maybe I should take Hunter Henry. Njoku could be interesting. I'll wait for Hayden Hurst here most likely. Albert O still on the board. Wow, Kenny Galladay. That's a crazy pick right there. AP's falling down the drain here. KJ Hamler, we'll see. KJ Hamler can make it back to us. I mean, that would just be crazy. This guy's got 8 wide receivers. I imagine he's probably pretty much capped out. He still doesn't have a tight end. Yep, okay. El Magico, guy loves to take his time. We'll see what he takes, though. Njoku here. We're going to go Christian Watson and KJ Hamler here. I know. Christian Watson, a guy continually falling down the board. He is a guy who's very big with question marks. But at the same time, if his question marks turn out all good, I mean, he's got the upside to be a league winner this season. So I like him. I'm fine taking him at 157. And then in the next round, we're going to need to figure out a 4th running back here. I mean, I would take Brian Robinson. I know he might not play football this season, but he also might play football this season. So I think he is an interesting pick if he is on the board still. And a guy who later on in the season will become more and more involved if he is given that workhorse type role, which the Redskins are kind of preparing him for. I mean, I think he's a good pick. We got Alec Pierce and Jefferson still on the board, though. I mean, we could walk out. If we walk out with 2 more wide receivers, and then we just figure it out. Actually, is Daniel Jones still on the board? He is. I mean, I don't really want to go with 3 quarterback builds here. We can't go with the 3 quarterback builds here, right? Right? I don't think so. Still, though, lots of running backs on the board. I don't get taken Zamir White at all. This guy's not a pass catcher whatsoever. Eno Benjamin, though. Eno Benjamin. I'm fine taking him in the next round. We'll just see Brian Robinson off the board here. It makes sense. Van Jeff still on the board. Paris Campbell. I'm fine taking any of these guys. I think we should secure our last 2 wide receivers here while we can. Before the board just gets absolutely desolate, and we're taking guys like Nelson Aguilar. Nelson freaking Aguilar. If you guys are enjoying this video, though, please go down, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Would really mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really does mean a lot. Love you guys all so much. Every subscriber, absolutely cherish you guys. So please, if you guys do enjoy, consider it. It's free, doesn't cost any money. So, and you guys will enjoy this content. Absolutely crush your fantasy football friends here. So that's really the goal. I mean, you just want to destroy in fantasy football. Subscribe to the channel. But now we are here. We got Van Jefferson still on the board, potentially. I think a guy who can catch some nice deep bombs. Especially, I mean, if Cooper Kupp goes down, right? Allen Robinson and Van Jeff, wide receiver 1 and 2 on this offense. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at things. Like, what can go right for these players? A ton can go wrong. An absolute ton can go wrong. I mean, Van Jefferson could be the wide receiver 5 on this offense, right? Tons of stuff can go wrong, but stuff can also go right. And the more stuff that'll go right, the higher probability stuff can go right, the more likely I am to take that guy. Like the way I think about Van Jefferson here, deep ball guy, so he will provide value on some weeks when he's targeted deep. Just having an absolutely like a 60-yard touchdown or something like that, that automatically pretty much provides value at the wide receiver position. For one, two. If Cooper Kupp goes down, then Van Jefferson becomes a wide receiver 2. Yes, he's got hands of butter, but a good player. I mean, I think a guy who fits Matt Stafford's role really well. A wide receiver 3 on a very, very good team, a team that could score 40 touchdowns passing-wise yet again. I think Van Jefferson's a good pick here. I don't care if he's going to miss the first 5 weeks of the season. I mean, 5 would actually be a lot. But I don't care if he misses the first 2-3 weeks of the season. Because right now it is looking like he might. Who cares? I really don't. I mean, you have this team for the whole season. I'll take the guys who are down in the dumps now, who, when they return, will be beasts. Jeff Wilson, man. Jeff Wilson. We'll see, though, if we even get Van Jeff here. Let's see. Daniel Jones still on the board. Well, that's making my Justin Fields pick look a little worse now. But what can you do? We're going to go Paris Campbell here, and then we are going to call it a video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you guys do enjoy. Best of luck in your fantasy football drafts this upcoming season. And as always, have a good day, a good night, and a good life.